I'm Senta, and we're here to practice yoga together. This is a level 1 class, the foundations and fundamentals of our yoga practice. Thank you for joining me, Senta, and practicing yoga.
You'll see some new poses as we work through the lower body, particular low back, hips, legs, and feet, as well as some familiar favorites for the upper body, the heart, the shoulders, and the neck. We'll begin seated on our mat and focusing on breath. If you'd like to make any changes to your space or lighting before finding that seated position, make those changes now. And begin to settle into your seat. Perhaps in your seat, you close your eyes and deepen your breath. Noticing how it feels to breathe deeply. And maybe you want to sit against the wall or sit up on a towel. Find the seat that allows you to breathe. And find some stillness, some mindfulness, deepening your breath. In yoga, we often speak of intention, setting intention for practice. There's a children's yoga book I've been reading called Just Breathe that simply lies and explains what intention is. An intention is what you want to feel in your whole life. It's different than a goal you can check off of a list. Some intentions include being happy, loved, valued, or maybe just feeling heard. So today in your practice, I challenge you to set an intention for our time together today. With the eyes closed, draw your belly into your spine and your chin a little closer to your chest. You can rest your hands on your lap or maybe bring them to your heart, pressing them together. Exhaling your breath, drawing your belly a little closer to your spine. And as you inhale, roll your right ear to your shoulder. As you exhale, take the chin to the chest. And as you inhale, take your ear to the left. Keep this movement going. Rotating the neck from side to side. One more complete rotation, finishing with the chin on the chest. If your eyes are closed, open your eyes and slowly draw your shoulders down your back. Everyone, hands to heart. As you inhale, roll your shoulders to your ears, and as you exhale, back down. Keep this going. Inhale to roll the shoulders up with the hands at heart. And exhaling to lower. One more. Roll of the shoulders, belly to spine, and exhaling to lower. Hands come in front of you into a seated fold. Maybe you move from side to side. Finding center and sitting up. Taking the hands overhead, right arm reaches as you inhale, as does the left. You gaze up and stretch up, drawing your shoulders up to your ears with your hands together if able. Inhale here into this salute. And as you exhale, take your hands down and your gaze down. Inhale to reach and stretch once more. Look up and exhale to lower. Hands
and gaze. One more, stretching up, reaching up. Inhale, belly in. And exhale to lower. Crawling over the legs, planting the hands and finding your tabletop position. Cushioning the knees, either with your mat or a towel. And again, maybe moving your yoga mat over toward the wall for a little support through practice today. If you'd like to tuck the toes for extra balance, tuck your toes. Draw your chin to your chest and your belly to your spine. And if you're able, flatten the tops of your feet. Cow pose on the breath in. Belly down, gazing forward. And cat pose on the exhale, rounding and dropping your head between the arms. Continue to move through your cow and cat. Breathing all the while. In and out. Try leaning forward on your cow pose and bending your elbows, lifting your chin, arching your low back. And on your cat, try sitting your hips toward your heels to really stretch through the muscles of the back. One more with the movement that feels good for you. And finding center in that tabletop position. Let's straighten our right leg out behind us, planting our toes and pressing through the heel. Again, drawing the chin to the chest and the belly in. Feel the stretch through the back of the leg. On your breath in, take your left hand out in front of you, and if you're able, while looking down, lift your right toes from your mat. You're balancing and breathing in a floating table position. Inhale. Stay balanced, and as you exhale, take it down, back to hands and knees. Let's do the other side, tabletop. Straightening the left leg behind you, pressing the toes down. Chin to chest, belly in alignment through the back of your body. And when you're ready, the right arm reaches forward. Maybe the left toes can reach off your mat for floating table. Inhale, balancing here, and as you exhale, toe down, hand down. Child's pose this time. Sitting your hips low. Maybe you want to rest your forearms, or maybe you want to rest your forehead with your arms out in front of you. Relax and breathe in this child's pose. And add a little movement of your hips from side to side if you want it. 3 breaths more in child's pose, perhaps exhaling your breath and sighing it out of your mouth. One more deep breath. Shifting up into downward dog with the eyes open and the hips high. In this down dog, pedal your legs and maybe spread your fingers and toes. Get loose as you open the backs of your legs. Push your shoulders to your hips and your hips to the ceiling. Maybe you look under your left arm. Challenging your balance, try switching your gaze and looking under your right arm. Then back down, maybe between your knees. This is our exhale position. As we move and flow, find a plank pose, the top of the push-up with the knees down and the shoulders down, or
Knees up, your choice, chin to chest. As you exhale, lift your hips into your down dog. As you inhale, over-exaggerate your way to plank with the toes, reaching and pushing you forward. And exhale back. One more, inhaling to plank. This time, bending your elbows, perhaps resting your knees and lowering onto your belly. Finding alignment on your mat, in your space. Maybe your feet are flat, or maybe your hands are underneath your shoulders and the elbows tucked in tight. Rest your chin or forehead. If the low back hurts, the feet coming wide to a V shape helps with low back pain. Baby cobra, back bending, inhaling, lifting up the chest, the forehead and chin, and resting on the exhale, lowering down. This time, try lifting the chest and maybe gazing forward a bit, digging your toes down, squeezing your thighs, exhaling to lower, back down. Last time, holding your baby cobra, finding your back bend, and maybe floating your hands off of your mat, taking it down piece by piece, releasing, extending the elbows wide, maybe resting your cheek, maybe swaying your hips from side to side. Then a little stillness, finding breath, moving into Sphinx pose intentionally. Feeling your way up onto the forearms here to bend your back. Bring your shoulders away from your ears and look forward. Spread your fingers. Try looking over the right shoulder behind you, towards your leg, your foot. Inhale and come back to the center, your Sphinx pose. And look the other way over the left shoulder, towards the foot. Inhale back to the center. Now you can stay here or try pointing your toes and bending your knees, bringing your feet closer to your head. Try twisting to the right. Exhale. Inhale back to the middle. Take it to the left. Inhaling to center. Maybe coming up off the elbows, straightening the arm, looking up to the ceiling. On one more breath in, your back bend. A scorpion variation. You'll lower down on the exhale and push yourself to child's pose for 3 rounds of breath. Maybe closing your eyes and thinking of intention, that feeling that you want for your whole life. As you finish that final breath, come up to downward dog, opening eyes, positioning yourself on your yoga mat, and finding stillness. Moving to forward fold, bending the knees, and either walking hands to feet or feet to hands. If you are able to hop, you can hop forward. Fold into your mat. A wider stance makes room for the low back, a bend of your knees, or a ragdoll sway from side to side can help release your spine. Breathe in your fold. Slowing it down, Finding center. Try tucking the chin to chest, softening the shoulders. And as you inhale the next time, take it slow and roll to stand. Maybe reach the arms up, gaze up, taking a salute or a back bend, then finding a standing yoga position, a mountain pose. A great time to break for water if you need the break, or make a change to your lighting or space. Today we'll open the hips. If you have a prop to use for triangle pose or for a lunge position, perhaps a warrior position, grab for your block. The wall or a piece of furniture work really well for your home practice also. Mountain pose. Finding center now on your mat. Strengthen your pose. Open chest and heart, belly to spine, crown of head lifting. Stand as though you would go nowhere in a stiff breeze. Stand with purpose. Take the chin to the chest as you exhale. Maybe draw the hands to heart if comfortable and press the hands together. A soft bend in the knees. A strong stance. Moving the neck with breath. Inhaling right ear to the shoulder. Exhaling to roll. And switch sides on the inhale. Keep this going. And breathe. One more. Movement of the head and neck from side to side. Find center, chin to chest. Gazes down, knees will bend for chair pose as you reach the arms away from your heart, overhead. Try to put the palms together. Sink into your heels in your chair pose. Find that seat. Tuck the pelvis. Avoid arching the low back. Inhale, and as you exhale, dive forward and fold with your head down. Your hands and shoulders rest. Inhale, come back into your chair with your hips sinking low. Heels are strong, and exhaling breath back into that standing fold. One more. Inhale. Find your chair pose, hold it, sink lower, gaze down, standing on the inhale this time, reaching up, pushing your hips forward, and exhaling, hands to heart. Finding a wider stance on your yoga mat now. Perhaps you want to have more of a surfer stance on your mat instead of facing forward. We'll bring the toes out and the heels in, bending into your knees. You can use your knees for support here or the wall. Piece of furniture. Find a position that you can bring your hands back to your heart and feel secure and balanced. Gazing at the floor, sitting into your goddess pose. Exhaling your breath. As you inhale, straighten your legs and reach your arms. Maybe gazing up, star pose. Exhale, hands come to heart. Look down, squat into your goddess. Inhale to reach, star pose. Exhale to lower. Keep this movement going, reaching, good, and lowering. Lifting in star, and squatting in goddess. 3 more. Your breath moves you in and out of these postures. Last time in star, holding goddess pose. On your exhale, you're gazing down. Take a breath in. On your exhale, the hands come down. You'll straighten your feet and your legs, taking a wider stance.
In your fold, your hands are down or resting on a block or fingertips. The crown of your head is lowering. Breathing all the while. Finding a bit of movement from side to side if it feels good, or forward and backward. Let's work the right hip here. Moving toward the right foot, walking your hands over and bending your right knee to sink yourself into a lunge. Shoulders are down, belly draws into the spine as you look between your hands. Feel balanced, and maybe take this twist as a challenge. The left hand will stay down as the right hand reaches up. Maybe you gaze past your right hand as you sink that right hip low, inhaling all the while and exhaling to release from your twist. Moving to the other side, bending the left knee, walking hands toward that left foot, feeling the stretch through that right inner leg. Shoulders down, belly draws to spine, holding your side lunge. Keeping the right hand down if you're twisting, taking the left hand up and looking up if able. Twisting your neck, inhale, reach. Exhale to release. Finding center and folding forward once more. On your breath in, bring your hands to your knees and come to stand, rolling up. Hands come to hips. One breath here. Then moving to a warrior two stance. Drawing your left foot forward first and your right foot back. If you are at the front of your mat, you're taking a step back. If you're facing in that surfer position, you're pivoting forward, bending into that front left knee. Drawing yourself out if you need to in your warrior two stance, arms to a T, finding power and a strong gaze. Good. Feel the hips working here in this warrior position. This is our exhale position. As we inhale, we'll flip our left hand, rest our right hand, taking reverse warrior, maybe looking up as you bend your back. This is our inhale position. As you exhale, back to warrior two. So moving the arms, inhaling to reverse, maybe gazing up and exhaling. Keep this going. Inhale and exhale. Good. Warrior two. Triangle pose. Shift forward, perhaps using a block outside of your front left foot, finding the floor with fingertips or the wall with your hand. Maybe the left hand rests on your shin. Lots of choices in triangle. Pushing hips forward and reaching right hand up, perhaps gaze up. In your triangle, breathing all the while. Staying with breath. If you need more, you can lift your left hand from your support, or maybe draw your right hand closer to your left. Let's reverse the triangle on a breath in, reaching the right fingertips up so much that the left hand replaces the right as the right hand rests behind you. That front leg stays straight. Inhale. And as you exhale, warrior two, bending the left knee. Arms to a T. Gaze is strong. Good. We'll take it to the other side. The hands lower on the exhale. Come inside of the left foot as you crawl towards center. Finding a half lift. Inhaling. A standing position with hands to hips. Then pivoting your legs towards the right here. The right knee bends. Now, if you were at the front of the opposite side of your yoga mat, simply take a step back with your left foot, keeping your right foot forward. Transitioning to warrior two. That right knee bends as the arms open to a T. You're looking forward, strong and powerful in your warrior two. This is our exhale position. Reversing the warrior on the inhale, flipping that right hand and reaching the ceiling as the left hand rests maybe on the thigh behind you. You're bending back, reversing your warrior. This is our inhale position. As you exhale, warrior two. Inhale, reverse and flow. Exhale. 3 more. Breathing and moving. Preparing for triangle pose. First in warrior two. Needing a block, a piece of furniture, or the wall outside of that front left foot. If you need to grab onto something, you'll lean forward and reach for the ground as you straighten that front leg. Maybe your right hand rests on your shin, or maybe you can turn your pelvis, pushing the hips forward, straightening the right leg, reaching the left fingers up and maybe gazing up, finding your triangle. Lots of options in Trikonasana. Breathing, all the while preparing to reverse the triangle. Reaching up through those left fingertips so much that you switch. The right hand replaces the left as the left hand reaches for the back leg. That front leg is straight, the gaze is high for reverse triangle. Inhale. And as you exhale, back to warrior two. Hold that position, the bend through the front leg, taking the hands down. This time, moving the right leg into plank, then downward dog. If you need the knees down, take it through tabletop, then into down dog. Check in with yourself. How do you feel in this downward dog? Recall intention and focus on breath. Pedal the legs if it feels good to you. Maybe take a 3-leg dog with the right heel reaching, the legs scissor together as that heel lifts. Then lowering down, maybe switching and taking a 3-leg dog with the left leg scissoring back and up. Shoulders to hips, hips high, and exhaling to lower. Forward to plank pose, top of the push-up. And we'll lower knees, chest, and chin. Resting. Releasing, perhaps moving the legs wider. As you rest, chin or forehead. Get used to lying on the belly. And on your breath in, lift your chin, your chest for your baby cobra, and exhale, take it down. Inhale, lift it up. Exhale, softly lower down. Lifting up once more. Perhaps floating the hands or digging the toes into the mat, squeezing thighs. Exhale, lower. Another back bend, a deeper back bend, bow pose. The back back bend we did before from space with the knees bent, the toes pointed. This time, reaching hands around for the front of the feet, lifting the chest, not the gaze, and kicking feet into hands so firmly that you open your back body. Inhaling all the while and holding the pose, not your breath. Hold strong in either position, either back bend. Inhale, and as you exhale, lower softly. Child's pose. Hips back. Forehead or chin or forearms. Softly resting. Recall intention. And notice breath. As you breathe in, feel that feeling that you want for your whole life. And slowly move from child's pose onto your back. Sitting up, making changes to your space. Your lighting, grabbing a towel or blanket, something that you need as you begin to relax more fully. On your back, maybe your eyes close. And you think about taking the curve out of your spine by tucking your chin to your chest, rolling your shoulder blades underneath you one at a time, and pressing into your heels or your feet, lifting and tucking the pelvis, then letting your tailbone rest back down on the ground. You'll notice the release of the spine and tension if you tuck and flatten your body by lying on the ground. Breathe and soften. Our minds wander. It's the nature and the environment that we live in. So try to use your breath to calm your body, your mind, and prepare for some restful meditation. Perhaps you're using a deep belly breath, or perhaps you've returned to a normal breath. Shorter inhales and exhales, relaxing your face muscles, your chest and shoulders, your hands and feet, all softening into your space. Keeping that attention to breath. Use the next few moments and reflect on intention. Imagine planting a seed in a garden. You may know that you're planting a seed for a rose bush, but you don't know exactly what the bush will look like when it grows. You dig a hole in the ground, preparing the soil for the seed. Once you put the seed in the dirt, you cover it up. You water the seed,
You let the sun nurture it and you give it time to grow. If you dig the seed up and look at it every day, it's not going to grow. You have to trust that the nature, the environment will take care of it, and that the work you do in your yoga practice will help that seed grow and help you reach intention. That first day when you see the first bud. In your life, when you set an intention, you plant a seed. You don't know how that seed will grow, what will happen to it, how it will look and smell and feel. But because you know that the intent is important to you, you will find ways to make it grow and flourish. Keeping soft and breathing. Let's take 3 more rounds of breath together. In through the nose, maybe out of the mouth. Stay in your space as long as you'd like, or join me and welcome some movement back to your body. Maybe your head moves from side to side, or your shoulders press up, finding the ears, then back down, something small moving more as you breathe. Your eyes can open and perhaps you take a full body stretch. Arms and legs seamed up overhead. And find a happy baby or a hug of your knees, something else, before pushing yourself into a seat. In that seat, know that a quiet mind and a deep breath are always so close and available to you. We'll finish our practice, maybe by bowing our heads or bringing your hands to your heart or in a mudra that speaks to you. Finishing our practice saying what we always say, namaste. Thank you for joining me, Senta. I hope you feel good, and I hope that you enjoy planting an intentional seed and using yoga to get that feeling that you want in your life. Namaste.